What if I told you that one of the most dramatic matches of this World Cup wasn't played between the tournament favorites, but between two nations fighting to prove they belong among football's elite? Tonight, South Korea and Czechia delivered a spectacle that had everything. Stunning goals, incredible saves, tactical battles, and moments of pure drama that kept fans on the edge of their seats from the first whistle to the very last second. Both teams entered the stadium knowing exactly what was at stake. A victory could bring them one step closer to World Cup glory, while defeat could leave their dreams hanging by a thread. The pressure was enormous, the atmosphere was electric, and neither side was willing to back down. What followed was 90 minutes of relentless action. South Korea came out flying, attacking with speed and confidence, while Czechia responded with discipline, determination, and dangerous counterattacks. Every minute brought a new twist, every chance felt decisive, and every tackle carried the weight of an entire nation's expectations. The crowd witnessed breathtaking attacking football, heroic defending, and moments that will be remembered long after this tournament ends. Just when one team seemed to be in control, the other found a way to fight back. Momentum shifted again and again, creating a contest that nobody inside the stadium could take their eyes off. Who scored the opening goal? How did the opposition respond under pressure? Which players rose to the occasion when their teams needed them most, and who ultimately walked away with a result that could shape the future of their World Cup campaign? Stay with us as we break down every major moment, every key chance, and every unforgettable highlight from an incredible night of football. This is the full story of South Korea versus Czechia, a match that reminded the world exactly why we love the beautiful game. What if I told you that one of the most unforgettable matches of this World Cup wasn't played between the tournament favorites, but between two nations determined to prove they belong on football's biggest stage? Tonight, South Korea and Czechia delivered a football spectacle that fans will be talking about for years. It was a match filled with passion, determination, breathtaking moments, and non-stop drama from the opening whistle to the final seconds. The stakes could not have been higher. Both teams entered the stadium carrying the hopes of millions of supporters back home. Every player understood that a victory would be a massive step toward the knockout stages, while a defeat could leave their World Cup dreams in serious danger. Hours before kickoff, the atmosphere around the stadium was already incredible. Fans arrived wearing national colors, waving flags, singing songs, and creating a festival of football unlike anything else. The excitement continued to build as kickoff approached. Inside the stadium, every seat was filled. The noise was deafening. The anticipation was overwhelming. As the players emerged from the tunnel, cameras captured focused faces and determined expressions. This was more than just another football match. This was an opportunity to make history. When the referee finally blew the whistle, the energy inside the stadium exploded. South Korea immediately showed their intentions. They started aggressively, pressing high up the field and moving the ball with confidence. Their midfield controlled possession, while their attackers constantly looked for spaces behind the Czech defense. Czechia remained composed despite the early pressure. Their defensive organization was impressive, and they patiently waited for opportunities to launch dangerous counterattacks. The opening exchanges were played at an incredible tempo. Every challenge was fiercely contested, every pass carried importance. Every attack felt dangerous. Only minutes into the game, South Korea created the first major opportunity. A beautiful passing sequence cut through midfield before finding an attacker in space near the edge of the penalty area. He struck the ball powerfully toward the bottom corner. The crowd was already rising in celebration, but the Czech goalkeeper reacted brilliantly. Diving at full stretch, he produced a magnificent save that kept the score level and immediately announced his presence in the match. The save energized Czechia while encouraging South Korea to continue attacking. The pace increased, the intensity grew. The atmosphere became even more electric. South Korea continued to dominate possession, using quick passing combinations and intelligent movement to stretch the opposition. Their wingers repeatedly attacked the flanks, delivering dangerous balls into the penalty area. Yet Czechia refused to break. Their defenders stayed disciplined and organized, clearing crosses and blocking shots whenever danger appeared. As the first half progressed, Czechia gradually grew into the game. They began finding more space in midfield and looked increasingly threatening whenever they attacked. One swift counterattack nearly produced the opening goal. A perfectly timed pass released a forward into space, but his effort flashed just wide of the post. It was a warning, and South Korea understood it. The game had become completely open, so teams believed they could win. Both teams continued pushing forward. The breakthrough finally arrived midway through the first half. South Korea built another impressive attack down the right side. A winger accelerated past his marker before delivering a precise cross into the heart of the penalty area. The striker timed his run perfectly. He rose above the defenders, connected cleanly with the ball, and powered a header toward goal. The goalkeeper had no chance. Goal for South Korea. The stadium erupted into celebration. Players sprinted toward the corner flag. Supporters jumped from their seats. The South Korean bench exploded with joy. After sustained pressure and relentless attacking football, they finally had the lead they deserved. South Korea won, Czechia 0. The goal changed the complexion of the match. Now Czechia had to respond. To their credit, they showed tremendous character. Instead of retreating or losing confidence, they immediately increased the intensity of their attacks. Their midfield pushed higher up the pitch, and their passing became more aggressive. For the remainder of the first half, Czechia applied constant pressure. Several dangerous crosses flashed through the penalty area. Long-range shots tested the goalkeeper. Defenders were forced into desperate clearances. One spectacular save prevented what looked like a certain equalizer and kept South Korea in front. When the halftime whistle finally arrived, South Korea held a narrow advantage, but nobody believed the match was finished. Far from it. The second half promised even more drama. During the break, both managers delivered crucial instructions. South Korea wanted to protect their lead while continuing to threaten on the counterattack. Czechia knew they needed a response and prepared to attack with greater urgency. The players returned to the pitch, the crowd returned to full voice, and the second half began. From the very first minute after the restart, Czechia looked like a different team. Their passing was quicker, their movement was sharper, their attacks carried greater purpose. South Korea continued to defend bravely, but the pressure was beginning to increase. Then came the moment Czechia had been searching for. A turnover in midfield allowed them to launch a rapid attack. A perfectly weighted through ball split the defense and sent the striker racing toward goal. The crowd held its breath. The goalkeeper rushed forward. The striker remained calm. With remarkable composure, he guided the ball beyond the keeper and into the back of the net. Goal for Czechia. The stadium exploded once again. Players celebrated passionately. Supporters roared with delight, and suddenly, the match was level. South Korea won, Czechia won, and everything had changed. All the hard work from the first half had disappeared in a single moment. Now both teams had a fresh opportunity to claim victory. The equalizer transformed the game into an even greater spectacle. Neither side appeared satisfied with a draw. Both teams continued attacking. Both teams continued believing every possession mattered. Every challenge became more intense. Every chance felt like it could decide the outcome. The crowd sensed the drama unfolding before their eyes. With every passing minute, the tension inside the stadium reached new heights. Players pushed themselves to the limit. Defenders threw themselves in front of shots. Goalkeepers produced crucial saves. Midfielders battled relentlessly for control. As the final stages approached, the match became a true test of courage, determination, and belief. Who would find the winning goal? Who would become the hero? And who would leave the field wondering what might have been? The answer was waiting in a breathtaking conclusion.